Lizardfolk. The Saurian lizardfolk are thought by some sages to be distant cousins of dragonborn and kobolds. Despite their resemblance to those other scaled folk, however, lizardfolk are their own people and have lived on the worlds of the material plane since the world's creation. Gifted by the gods with remarkable physical defense and a mystical connection to the natural world, lizardfolk can survive with just their wits in situations that would be deadly for other folk. Because of that fact, many lizardfolk myths state that their people were placed by the gods in the material plane to guard its natural wonders. Lizardfolk have colorful scales and exhibit a wide array of scale patterns. Their individual facial features are as varied as those of lizards. As a lizardfolk, we are humanoid, we are medium, we have a walking speed of 30 feet as well as a swimming speed. We get a bite attack, which is just a d6 strength modifier slashing attack. We can hold our breath for up to 15 minutes at a time. Our first big feature is Hungry Jaws. You can throw yourself into a feeding frenzy. As a bonus action, you make a special attack with your bite. If the attack hits, it deals its normal damage and you gain temporary hit points equal to your proficiency bonus. You can use this trait a number of times equal to your proficiency bonus and you regain all expended uses when you finish a long rest. Next we get natural armor. You have tough scaly skin. When you aren't wearing armor, your base AC is 13 plus your dexterity modifier. You can use your natural armor to determine your AC if the armor you wear would leave you with a lower AC. A shield's benefits apply as normal while you use your natural armor. And finally we get nature's intuition. Thanks to your mystical connection to nature, you gain proficiency with 2 of the following skills of your choice: animal handling, medicine, nature, perception, stealth, or survival. I think the standout feature for lizardfolk is the armor. That's probably going to be a big reason you choose them. Now the best light armor in the game is 12 AC plus your dex, so this beats light armor. And then for spellcasters, this is mage armor without having to cast mage armor. So for anyone who's trying to use a light armor build, a dexterity build like rogues, this can give you that +1 AC, which is pretty nice. It can help spellcasters have way better ACs without having to invest in both choosing mage armor, using the spell slot for it, etc. Now if we have enough dexterity, this also beats out medium armor without having to sacrifice stealth as well. So if we're doing a deep dex medium armor build, this can actually take away the medium armor eventually. Now Hungry Jaws kind of is more of a strength based feature. So we have a dexterity based feature and a strength based feature. Now there's some nuance that you can do with like monks and whatnot to get around that strength based feature, but the fact that it is strength based kind of suggests that it's better with a more martial focused lizardfolk. So a fighter can now, swing their great axe twice and then bonus action bite a couple times per long rest. And honestly, bonus action attacks are great, even if it's limited, but it does also give us some temporary hit points, so it increases our tankiness and just lets us make multiple attacks a day. I think that's decent. It's nothing crazy, but it's good. Then we have Nature's Intuition, which is just a couple skill increases, which whatever, that's fine. We have our Hold Breath, which could be useful in like poison-based rooms or for swimming deep for quite a while. It'll probably come up here and there, but not a big feature. I think lizard folks don't have like a very strong niche. They do okay in many places, but they don't do great really anywhere. And we take a look at the armor feature, but then we can compare it to the turtles, whose is pretty much significantly better. Until we get 5 dexterity, then this one wins out at that point. I really feel that there's a lot of anti-synergy between Hungry Jaws and the natural armor, that if we're trying to get 20 in dexterity for our natural armor, it's going to be pretty tough to get that high strength to get the most out of our bite. I'm really struggling to think of a spot where we can maximize both natural armor and the Hungry Jaws. Furthermore, they did remove my favorite thing about lizardsfolk, which was their crafting skill that allowed them to make their own weapons or shields or whatever, because they were survivalists that knew how to take things and make cool things out of them. And I understand why. Because anyone can do that with a survival check. There's no reason you shouldn't be able to do that. But I would have rather had seen that dived into more and explored that aspect more, because I think it was the most flavorful thing about lizardfolk. So I'm kind of sad to see it go, because now I feel like we don't have a really strong flavor here. There's something missing for me, I guess is what I'm saying. Yeah, I would say the mechanics don't really marry me to the lizardfolk. I like lizardfolk because they're lizardfolk and that's pretty cool, but the mechanics aren't really selling me on that fantasy. But that's just me. How about you? What would you do with your lizardfolk in your games? Tell me some builds that you would do with lizardfolk. Love to hear it. I've been taking a look at a lot of these races. You can check out the playlist here if you want to see me analyze some more of these new races. But with that, I hope you have yourselves a wonderful day.